Hey everyone, unfortunately I have some bad news for Nikola stock investors. Today they had a meeting with a shareholder vote for a proposal to increase the number of shares outstanding. That did not pass. So let me go over the details in this video here. Nikola received the requisition for a number of votes to approve all the proposals except for Proposal 2, in my opinion, which was the most important proposal up for shareholder vote today. Proposal 2 was an amendment to Nikola's certificate to increase the authorized number of shares of common stock, which currently requires a majority of all outstanding common stock for approval. So that did not pass. If it passed, it would have allowed Nikola to sell more shares of stock so that it can raise cash, which it desperately needs right now because it's burning through a lot of cash and its business is not generating cash. It's going negative in cash flow every month. And so it needs cash to sustain itself. And it went to its shareholders and said, hey, shareholders, let us sell more stock to raise more cash. So why would shareholders not be in approval of this? Why would they not want the company to raise more cash since they so desperately need it? Well, it's because when the company sells more stock, shareholders get diluted. What that means is if you owned one share and the company had 100 shares outstanding, you owned 1% of the company. But if the company sells 900 more shares and you still have only one share, but now there's 1,000 shares outstanding instead of 100, you now own 0.1% of the company instead of 1% of the company. You just got diluted, right? Your ownership got diluted. More shares outstanding left you with a smaller percentage ownership of the company. When the company eventually, if it ever becomes profitable, you will be entitled to a smaller portion of those profits because you own a smaller portion of the company now. In fact, let me show you this. Nikola has already diluted shareholders to the maximum, which is why it needs to go get approval to increase the maximum because it already reached its limit. You look here at the average diluted shares outstanding. Nikola has gone from around 375 million shares outstanding all the way up to 549 million as it has sold its stock and diluted shareholders and arguably caused its stock price to fall by close to 98% because of, I guess, a combination of factors: mismanagement, poor results, and so on. And the stock price is down considerably. So now that the management is going back to shareholders and saying, "Hey, shareholders, let us sell more stock to raise more money," maybe shareholders are saying, "Really? What have you done with the money you already had all this time?" Still, um, there is a proposed amendment to Section 242 of the Delaware General Corporation Law that's expected to be effective on August 1st. Once effective, the voting threshold approval to amend a company's certificate to increase the number of shares would change from a majority of the outstanding common stock to a majority of the shares actually voting on the proposal. So that would make it easier for Nikola to get approval for this amendment, increase the threshold, and sell more shares to the public and raise capital. So now they've adjourned the meeting and they will meet again on August 3rd in the hopes that this change in Delaware corporation law, which is not guaranteed to go into effect, it's expected, but it's not guaranteed, and then they will go back to shareholders and try to raise more capital then. But unfortunately for now, this is a blow to Nikola. This is bad news for Nikola stock investors as the company is getting shorter and shorter on cash and it's having to cut down on operations, lay people off, sell off certain segments as you've seen it do to try and survive until it can raise more capital. But that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.